move on up to the next one then.
Moving on up to the next fight, we got Kevin. Where did Kevin come from?
I don't know.
William Nightmare Knight taking on Marcin Prachnio in the 205-pound light heavyweight division. I know we've seen William Knight come in and fight at heavyweight too. He is probably the biggest, strongest looking guy inside of the UFC. You know, you can see here last time weighing in at 251 pounds. It's going to be interesting to see this guy hit 205.
Yeah,
What do you think?
but that's a lean 251. But yeah, it is. I could see him potentially missing weight because so much of his body is muscle that how much can you? Well, I guess muscle dehydrates easier than anything else. But it's going to be weird. It's going to be a scary. I mean, a nightmare of a weight cut potentially for William Knight. But if he does make weight and everything goes back, everything goes well for him, you're probably going to see him say he's dieting right and everything. Walk into this fight after weighing in at 205, probably around like 235 at least, maybe 240. Say he's dieting and everything and trying to lose the weight to get down. But he's got serious knockout power. And his back's up against the wall a little bit because William Knight's not like the guy that's, a draw and they're going to keep around if he goes on a 3-fight losing streak. I think maybe a guy like William Knight, you have 3-4 losses in a row and the UFC starts looking to ditch you. I think William Knight's going to come in here on a mission if he does make weight. I mean, if he misses weight, that may be goodbye William Knight. So there's that in and of itself that, the drive could be there to make 205 here. But I think if he makes weight and it's not like a terrible weight cut and he doesn't look bad, then I'm all with William Knight here because the knockout power is legitimate. And if he's walking around against Marcin Prachnio, who is a legit, light heavyweight.
Look at Marcin Prachnio, or look at Felipe Lins, who is Marcin Prachnio's last loss.
Yeah.
Look at this. I mean, we talked about it a little bit before, but look at this is incredible. The amount of canceled fights that this guy has had, and the layoff that's been, and obviously the loss to Tanner Bose and Andrei Arlovsky. But this is something of incredible proportions.
Yeah, you almost feel bad for the guy. He had a fight booked like every week for a little bit there that just kept getting canceled. But yeah, I'm rolling with William Knight here. And that's barring a drastic weight cut. If he doesn't look like emaciated, where we can see his cheekbones coming out of his face like we did with Josh Emmett, then I think this is William Knight's fight. He's not a bad guy. He's extremely strong, extremely powerful, and not like super intelligent with his striking, but if he lands, like he can land anywhere on your head and you're potentially going to go to sleep. So I'm going with William Knight here. What do you got, Tom?
Yeah, it's tight. I'm going to follow you with William Knight, like you said. Depending on how that weight cut goes, he's gotten wins at light heavyweight before. So depending on how that weight cut goes, I think he has all the power to put Marcin Prachnio away. We've seen Prachnio definitely, get knocked out by Mike Rodriguez and Magomed Ankalaev. I don't think he's going to be facing the same quality of caliber of opponent, should I say, in William Knight. But if he lands, he can definitely get the job done. Marcin Prachnio's wins are against a guy like Khalil Roundtree, where like, listen, if you could avoid Khalil Roundtree, I give you all the skills necessary to avoid William Knight. They fight in a pretty similar fashion with just violence, and their careers have been up and down in kind of a similar fashion. He's got the win over Ike Villanueva, which I always discount because Ike Villanueva, especially towards the latter part of his career, couldn't buy a win. So definitely not very impressive for Marcin Prachnio. He's going to be the much taller guy, obviously, as everyone against William Knight is for the most part. Standing at only 5'10" for William Knight, but like you said, he's a brick shithouse, and if he lands, I think we could see Marcin Prachnio go away, get put away rather. I don't think Marcin Prachnio is going to be the one to put away William Knight. I mean, I know he got put away by Devin Clark, but Devin Clark really benefits when people don't have the level of grappling that he has and they can, out grapple him. And Devin Clark has some crazy legs too, to be able to have the power and hold William Knight down. I don't think we're going to see that game plan from Marcin Prachnio. I think it's going to be a standing battle. I'm going to give, side with William Knight to be able to land some of those power shots and get it done. And as you see, the people on Tapology also agree with you, Keith.
Yeah, well, that's good because they didn't agree with me with Josh Parisian. So it's nice to be on their side once. Next up, Zach Payuga versus Jordan Wright. I never know if I'm saying Payuga or if it's Pauga. but we'll find out from Brendan Fitzgerald this weekend, right? He's
Yep.
the okay. I can never remember if it's Fitzpatrick or Fitzgerald.
Yeah. No.
Uh,
Well, now you have me. No, it's Fitzgerald.